Hey gang, it's Tim. I really want to talk today about how you stand out as an agency. So just the other day, and there's a link to this video over in the comments. I talked about this concept of growth stacks for agencies, where you're building one marketing activity on another, so that you're creating trust before someone will engage. But prior to the growth stack, and actually throughout the growth stack, what you really have to focus on is figuring out how your agency can stand out. So I'm going to give you a super short primer on how to do that. So there's a couple of things that are really, really meaningful. So number one is you have got to have a super clear focus on what you do. And actually, not a lot of people do. So they tend to have a lot of services, and they focus on the things that they do. So they talk about their process, or they talk about their the steps that they take, or their reporting. And actually, what you really want to think about is presenting what you do in terms that the client can understand. So now these three things are all equally true. I run paid search campaigns. I help. That's true. Then I help companies increase their paid search revenue. That's also true. But this is true as well. I help retailers generate new to file customers through intent-based marketing. So all those things, they're true, but do you see what I did throughout that sort of value discussion, that value tree that I just did? So we went from what I did down to the benefit that I give to my client, because I talk about new to file customers, and then I leverage the qualification intent-based campaigns. So when you were thinking about standing out, the thing that really stands out is what your customer gets out of this. And it's really powerful. And as a matter of fact, you have to think about your business in that way, because the stuff that you do functionally doesn't really matter, because there's so many other people that can do it. Now, if you have a technology advantage, that's cool. Like if you have some proprietary technology, you can leverage that, because you can talk about the benefits that using this technology has for your clients. But if you don't, and maybe you've just got like a process advantage, like you're really good at making sure you touch all parts of search or whatever, I think what you want to do is you want to keep that in the back, right? You want to keep that as supporting evidence of the clear thing that you do to stand out, which is your point of view, right? So your point of view, if it's very customer centric, right, and you're thinking very clearly about what the customer gets out of it, and you're able to say something like, our point of view is that, we leverage audience data, we leverage behavioral data, and we put all this stuff together, we mix it up, and we get something that is really powerful for your client base. I think you have to really think about how you put this in front of your customers, because fundamentally all performance agencies kind of do the same thing. You manage campaigns, you optimize them, you tweak things here and there, you write some copy, and you look at results. And that becomes very vanilla. And it's very hard to understand if someone's better at it than someone else. So what you need to do in order to stand out is forget about what you do and only talk about your affinity for the market that you're after and your point of view in that market. So what is the secret sauce that you can bring? And if your answer is nothing, but you got to dig deep and figure it out, because you do have a point of view. You think about your market in a particular way, and you have an idea of what the right solution is for them. So it's incumbent on you as an agency owner to not be vanilla, because remember, you're in advertising, right? Your job, you're in marketing, your job is actually to help people, convince them of things, right? So leverage your own skills and dig deep, so you can sort of put together that customer-centric view that encompasses your thought process without getting down into the boring pablum, right? The boring like recitation of these are the things that we do. You really need to think about standing out by your inherent merits. Additionally, there is packaging that you can do. Fundamentally, you can have you can be cool and hip, or you can be conservative, or you can sort of have a sort of character or whatever. There's a lot of ways to do that, but that stuff sort of comes across as gimmicky, because what really matters is that you have an affinity for your clients and you know how to wield the pieces of your market in a cool way. So the primer, just to break this down, is you have to have a point of view that's meaningful, right? It can't be like, oh, we are return on ad spend focused. Well, everybody is. You have to think about this where we are experts in attacking a particular demographic or target market because we have deep experience, marketing to seniors or marketing to younger folks, or we are we have such an insight into the folks who use Instagram and Snapchat that we can actually create a meta audience that is super great for you, right? So you have to leverage your insight so that you can drive a vision that your customer understands, and that you present that vision fully in terms of the benefit that they get. If you got questions, leave them in the comments. Love to hear from you. Thanks.